Hello everyone and welcome to my Beyond the Gates CBS Update 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Beyond the Gates spoilers: Naomi and Tomas continue to clash. Some rivalries start with a single argument. Others appear to get stronger whenever two people share the same room. That second category aptly describes Naomi Hamilton and Tomas Navarro. At this point, it makes little difference how many conversations they have or how many chances they have to find common ground. They always wind up exactly where they started, on opposing sides, frustrated, defensive, and they are increasingly unwilling to trust each other's motives. Next week, the tension will escalate, because what started as a professional issue is becoming more personal. The problem, at least from Naomi's perspective, is that Tomas does not believe her. She has consistently stated that she does not intend to take Bill Hamilton's place. She has frequently stated that she is not actively pursuing the position Tomas so dearly seeks. Regardless of what she says, Tomas continues to treat her as a threat. Naomi grows increasingly agitated as he continues to do this. After all, she never requested this war. At least not initially. But Tomas's continual skepticism may be causing the very situation he fears, because each charge brings Naomi closer to questioning her own position. If everyone feels she's battling for the firm's future, why shouldn't she? That question begins to hover in the background as their most recent confrontation develops. However, Tomas sees things very differently. He has spent months proving himself, developing relationships, trying to establish himself as someone who can handle more responsibility. He believes he has earned the right to be regarded the natural heir. But every time he begins to feel optimistic about the future, Naomi's presence alters the equation. Not because she wants the job, because she could have it. That is the part Tomas cannot ignore. The Hamilton name still wields great power. Whether Naomi consciously pursues power or not, she is nonetheless bound to it. That truth frustrates him more than he wants to acknowledge. The end outcome is another heated exchange, another argument based on assumptions, another conflict in which neither side is willing to lose. And this time, the conflict makes both parties question whether cooperation is really feasible anymore. Making matters worse for Tomas is the fact that he can't find help where he needs it. Kat refuses to help him eliminate Naomi as a source of concern. That decision speaks volumes. Because if Kat is unwilling to support his position, Tomas may be forced to confront a tough reality. Perhaps the problem isn't Naomi. Maybe the issue is the way he treats Naomi. Unfortunately, such revelation does not come quickly. And until it does, the rivalry will become greater. While Naomi and Tomas fight for the future, another plotline takes a much more perilous turn. Andre Richardson's secret is no more a mystery. At least not for watchers. The identity behind the texts. The champagne is pricey. Strange messages. An increasing sensation of dread. It all comes back to one woman. Heather Armstrong, Joseph Armstrong's sister, and now that she's revealed herself, Andre's problems have barely begun. The signals had been there for weeks. Every gift seemed planned. Every text seemed personalized. Every development indicated that someone knew Andre far better than they should. Andre noticed the warning symptoms very quickly. That's why he never appeared surprised. Concerned? Absolutely. Panicked? At times, but surprised? Never. He knew his past was catching up with him. Next week it will finally happen. The unusual encounter that concluded the previous week alters everything, because Andre can no longer ignore the situation. Heather is standing just in front of him, real, persistent, and carrying memories that are certainly not faded. Heather's familiarity with Andre does not make the situation any less perilous. It's that she seems emotionally attached to whatever history they share. Her expression says enough. She does not approach him as if she is looking for closure. She approaches him as if she misses what they once had. Unfortunately for Andre, his answer reveals a very different scenario. Heather sees possibility while Andre sees doom. Heather sees a reunion while Andre sees exposure. Heather sees unfinished business while Andre sees a secret that might destroy everything. The issue is that when another person is involved, it becomes more difficult to keep secrets. Especially someone who is emotional. Especially someone who clearly desires more than silence. Andre suddenly finds himself on the verge of a crisis. One wrong decision might reveal all. One thoughtless error could create questions he does not want to address. And an unforeseen encounter could jeopardize his entire personal life. The main question is not whether Andre has a secret. The main question is how long he can keep it hidden. Because every secret has a breaking point. Heather's arrival may have began the countdown. Chelsea and Kat, who live in Fairmont Crest, are also making headlines. The duo decides to mix fashion and controversy. This combo nearly guarantees significant reactions. Some people value boldness, others regard it as troublemaking. Chelsea and Kat appear to be completely aware that their current move will draw notice. The question is whether they are ready for the level of attention they are about to get. Public disagreement has a habit of expanding beyond its intended intent. What starts as a statement can soon turn into a discussion. A debate might turn into condemnation. Criticism can lead to conflict. However, neither Chelsea nor Kat have ever been renowned for playing it safe. That desire to disrupt expectations is precisely what distinguishes them as unpredictable forces in Fairmont Crest. Nonetheless, bold decisions frequently result in consequences, and next week may expose just how costly these effects can be. Meanwhile, another conflict is brewing within the Dupree family. Lammy recently came under tremendous scrutiny as her family questioned her sentiments with Bill Hamilton. From Danny's perspective, the answer seems simple. They're pals. There's nothing more. Nothing less. At least, that's what she told everybody. The problem is that not everybody is convinced, especially Vernon. Vernon, unlike others who are willing to take things at face value, refuses to ignore his instincts. He's been watching too much. I've seen too much. I've had too much experience. And these experiences inform him that there is more going on behind the surface. Perhaps Danny truly believes the connection is merely friendship. Perhaps Bill also believes this. But Vernon is not interested in making assumptions. He wants the facts. And his determination brings him directly to the hospital. Unlike many people who approach Bill with caution, Vernon arrives with a goal. He's not there for casual talk. He's not there to exchange niceties. He is there to address Bill immediately. What exactly are your intentions with Danny? This is an easy question. However, the answer could have far-reaching effects. Vernon needs to know whether Bill intends to pursue more than friendship. And if Danny is about to take another emotional risk, Vernon wants to stop her before anyone gets injured. The confrontation quickly becomes one of the most anticipated events of the week. Two strong-willed males. One difficult subject. And there is no place for evasive responses. Bill may be accustomed to dealing with pressure, but Vernon doesn't back down once he starts asking questions. As the week progresses, numerous storylines begin to converge. Naomi and Tomas are getting increasingly unable to reconcile. Andre is expecting the return of a woman who knows too much. Chelsea and Kat are causing trouble which could backfire. Vernon is preparing to challenge Bill over Danny. Every plot involves risk. Every plot contains secrets. And each plot appears to be building up to a point where someone will be compelled to make a decision. However, the most harmful choices have not yet occurred. Because, just as Vernon cornered Bill in the hospital, Andre had a horrifying insight. Heather is not going away. And if she's eager to re-enter his life, the secret he has been keeping may not last much longer. Andre expected the worst thing to be seeing Heather again. He was wrong. The true issue arises after the conference concludes. Because once Heather returns to his life, Andre realizes this isn't a one-time experience. This isn't an old flame seeking closure before leaving again. Heather plans to stay, and this alters everything. Andre has spent years painstakingly crafting the life he desired. A prosperous career, a family, a reputation, a future free of past mistakes and unfinished chapters. Now everything feels vulnerable. The more he reflects on his talk with Heather, the more untenable the scenario gets. He can't justify her existence without disclosing details she's got to keep private. But he can keep meeting her indefinitely without anyone noticing. Sooner or later, questions will arise. Where have you been? Who did you meet? Why are you immediately distracted? Why are you hiding your phone? Why are you behaving differently? Those inquiries are problematic because Andre lacks good answers. And every secret demands upkeep. The difficulty with keeping secrets is that they eventually take control of the person hiding them. That's precisely where Andre finds himself. Instead of handling the problem, he responds to it. Instead of getting ahead of the problem, he is attempting to keep up with it. And that's when mistakes occur. Meanwhile, Heather appears to be fully at ease with her new world. Unlike Andre, she does not appear to be interested in pretending their history never existed. In fact, she seems keen to remind him of it. Andre is made uneasy by her confidence in the situation. People who have regrets tend to act cautiously. People with unresolved hopes behave differently. Heather's behavior shows that she returned with expectations. That option adds a completely new element of peril. Because if Heather wants something from Andre, she may refuse to be ignored. And if she refuses to walk away peacefully, Andre's carefully guarded secret may become impossible to keep. Elsewhere, Naomi and Tomas's antagonism eventually has unexpected effects. For weeks, Tomas has dedicated all of his attention to keeping Naomi from becoming a threat. But somewhere along the road, he missed an important fact. Others have been observing, and not everyone agrees with him. The more Tomas undermines Naomi's viewpoint, the more people begin to doubt his judgment. Instead of making Naomi appear unqualified, he generates sympathy for her. Instead of decreasing her influence, he strengthens it. The irony is tough to miss. Tomas's desired future may be slipping away as a result of his aggressive pursuit. At the same time, Naomi undergoes a shift of viewpoint. For months, she has argued that she does not want Bill's role. She does not want the responsibilities. She doesn't want to fight. However, after being treated as a contender on multiple occasions, something begins to change. A new thought comes to her head. What if she has been giving up authority she never needed? What if she's been letting others determine her future rather than determining it herself? Those questions do not suddenly turn Naomi into Bill's successor. However, they do accomplish something vital. They made her reconsider options she had previously ignored. That is exactly the consequence Tomas has been attempting to prevent. Without realizing it, he may have brought Naomi closer to leadership than she has ever been. If that happens, he will have only himself to blame. While professional tensions continue to rise, Vernon eventually leaves the hospital with a better knowledge of one thing. Bill is not an issue that he can tackle in one chat. Vernon craved clarity, but the confrontation did not deliver it. Instead, it leaves him with instincts that refuse to be quiet. Something still seems unresolved. Something feels unfinished. Vernon had spent too many years trusting his senses to reject them now. As a result, he pays more attention than ever before. Every interaction matters. Every discussion important. Every decision concerning Danny is important. Danny isn't delighted with everyone's involvement, which complicates the matter even worse. At first, she dismissed the worries. Now she is encircled by them. Friends are discussing, family members are talking. Even those who should not have an opinion suddenly appear to have one. Danny is forced to take an awkward position due to the continual attention. She must decide whether she is protecting reality or just the version of reality she wants to believe in. That's a far more difficult question than everybody understands. Because the more she looks into her relationship with Bill, the more confusing it appears. Not necessarily romantic, not necessarily innocent, just complicated. And intricate circumstances rarely remain steady indefinitely. Meanwhile, Chelsea and Kat learn that the issue has led to unexpected opportunities. Not everyone criticizes them. In fact, some people are enjoying them. I'm here for them. Praise them for refusing to play it safe. This support creates an interesting split. The more vocal the critics are, the louder the supporters get. Suddenly, the topic broadens beyond fashion. It becomes into a risk argument, about expressiveness, about who gets to question expectations and who doesn't. Chelsea and Kat find themselves at the center of something far bigger than just one endeavor. The attention generates momentum. However, momentum is perilous because it increases expectations. People want to know what they will do next, how they will respond, whether they will continue to push boundaries, and once expectations begin to rise, standing still is no longer an option. Back in Andre's world, the strain builds to the point when silence feels impossible. Every instinct begs him to tell the truth. However, every dread explains why he shouldn't. The conflict gets exhausting. Because no matter which path he takes, consequences await. Tell the truth. Risk damaging trust. Keep the secret. Risk damaging confidence later. Neither alternative seems safe. Neither option seems easy. And this is what makes Heather's return so sad. She's not just brought back memories. She has placed Andre into a scenario in which every option is dangerous. The more he waits making a decision, the worse the outcome may be. Unfortunately, time may have already ran out. Because secrets have an unusual way of showing themselves when people grow very comfortable. One incidental sighting, an overheard conversation, an unexpected encounter. That is all it takes. And Fairmont Crest has never been a location where secrets remain hidden indefinitely. By the conclusion of the week, every major storyline had moved unexpectedly. Naomi is no longer so sure about remaining out of the succession debate. Tomas is realizing that ambition can lead to self-destruction. Vernon remains unconvinced by what Bill told him. Danny finds herself reconsidering ideas she thought were settled. Chelsea and Kat have become more powerful lightning rods than ever before. And Andre is on the verge of a personal catastrophe that could erupt at any time. However, what happened may not have been the most significant change. This is what happens next. Because Heather is still around. Naomi is currently debating her future. Vernon is still watching Bill. And Danny is still trapped in the middle. The clashes may have ended for the time being. The effects are only beginning. And in Fairmont Crest, consequences frequently become far more harmful than the original secrets that gave rise to them. First off, Beyond the Gates spoilers for Monday, August 17th suggest Andre will be dragged down by the past. Fans will finally see Andre interact with Heather Armstrong. So will viewers also learn more about their connection? Elsewhere, poor Naomi Hawthorne will still have to deal with some pushback from Tomas Navarro. Haley Hamilton planted a seed weeks ago that Naomi was looking to take over the law firm from Bill, and Tomas has been giving her a hard time since. Naomi has a lot on her plate right now and is focused on her dad's recovery. The woman is merely following instructions as Tomas continues to nitpick at her. Will he lay off? That's a hard no at this point, so Naomi will likely start to fight back during the August 17th episode. Across town, BTG spoilers note that Catherine Kat Richardson and Chelsea Hamilton will pair up fashion with controversy. It sounds like a new Chelsea cat bag design is coming that will have people talking. Finally, Beyond the Gates spoilers for August 17th reveal that Vernon will confront Bill. It sounds like he'll flat out ask his former son-in-law about his intentions with Danny Dupree. Vernon is a fan of Andre and knows that he makes Danny happy in a positive way, so the dad will do all he can to protect his daughter from Bill and his mind games. Beyond the Gates spoilers imply that Vernon will set boundaries with Bill during Monday's show. But will the lawyer follow suit or continue on his conquest to keep Danny's heart all to himself? Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.